Hindu teachings on transgender. Hi, I'm Dr. James Holt, and with regard to transgender, there appears to be support in aspects of the sacred text. For example, in the laws of Manu, or the Manu Smriti, it speaks of the possible results of conception, suggesting that a person can be both a boy and a girl. This isn't a perfect reference to issues of transgender, as while some trans people will use non-gendered pronouns, suggesting a third gender, for many trans people the focus will be on their identity as men and women. In considering the place and acceptance of the third gender, Amara Das Wilhelm argues, because the Dharma Shastra considers the third sex to be an inborn nature rather than an acquired vice, no verses punish third gender citizens for their characteristic behaviour. The possibility of gender fluidity is at least suggested within Hindu Dharma, and this is confirmed in other stories from sacred texts. One such example is that of Sikandi in the Mahabharata. Sikandi was born as the daughter to King Drupada, the father of Draupadi, the woman in the story who would become wife to the 5 Pandava brothers. Sikandi decided to leave the palace and fast until she died, but encountered the Yaksha Stunakana, who agreed to switch genders with her so that she could kill Bhishma, who she had vowed to kill because of his treatment of her in her previous incarnation as Amba. Devduta Patanak uses the story of Sikandi and others such as Abhikshita, a prince who believed himself to be a woman, Mali, who was also Malinatha Sudyamana, and many more to suggest the allowance of transgender within Hinduism. One group still in existence today is known as Hijra, which is sometimes translated as unit, but would be better classified as transgender, being known in India as intersex or the third gender. They do occupy a tenuous place in society, with many placing them on the margins, while they also perform certain rituals and weddings and are seen to bestow blessings. This ambiguity is highlighted by the Supreme Court of India, who stated, "It is the right of every human being to choose their gender, and that recognition of the group is not a social or medical issue, but a human rights issue." They directed the government to open education and job opportunities to all third gender groups. While progress has been slow, in 2015 the first Hijra mayor in India was elected in the city of Raigad, and in 2017 the city of Kochi hired 23 Hijra to work for their public transit system. Still, progress is slow. Most third gender people remain in poverty, even as they continue to bless Hindu families with prosperity. The place of the Hijra in Indian society may be indicative of a wider view on transgender issues in the Hindu community. Although it's allowed, through the cultural inheritance of colonialism and more conservative values, this may lead to some attitudes that fall short of acceptance.